George Sisler grew up as part of a prominent family in Akron, Ohio. George, along with brothers Bert and Cassius, loved sports, and George honed his skills as a youth in Barberton, Ohio. He was so highly regarded that he was recruited to play baseball at the University of Michigan for a man that would become perhaps his closest friend in life.
Mr. Rickey was the coach at the University of Michigan, and that's where my grandfather met Mr. Rickey and played for him his freshman year up there, and that's how they first met.
After graduating from Michigan with an engineering degree in 1915, Sisler signed with the St. Louis Browns, shown here with team vice president Walter Fitch. The manager at the time was Branch Rickey.
He was very fast. His fielding average was superb. He covered more ground than most first basemen would cover at that age, because when he was in high school, he actually was a left-hander, but he played shortstop. At the University of Michigan, he was a pitcher. He came up as a pitcher.
As a southpaw, Sisler was considered an excellent pitching prospect, and he outdueled one of the best in history.
He played against Walter Johnson and beat him twice as a pitcher for the St. Louis Browns.
Sisler pitched 15 games his rookie year and had a career ERA of under 3 runs a game. But he was such a tremendous athlete, he had to play every day. And in 1917, he hit over 350. In 1918, Sisler was having a nice season, batting .341. But the season was suspended on Labor Day due to World War I. After the season, George joined the Army as a second lieutenant under Major Branch Rickey's Chemical Warfare Service. Sisler was designated for assignment overseas, but on November 11, 1918, the war ended and Sisler's baseball career entered a magnificent stretch of baseball excellence.
In 1920, he batted .407. That was the year he set his single-season hit record at that point in time.
And then 2 years later, he has .420 and is the MVP, and the Browns came within 1 game of winning the pennant. The lowly Browns almost won the pennant that year.
Sisler was also a man of great character.
He was not a carouser. He was not a drinker. He was not a smoker.
Sisler was on top of the world and was becoming a national icon. Gorgeous George was the first baseball player to be featured on the cover of Time magazine. But after the 1922 season, an illness struck Sisler, which derailed him in the prime of his career.
He evidently had a sinus infection in 1923, or before 1923, I mean right before the season, and it caused him to have double vision. And so he was not able to play through the whole year of 1923.
Sisler returned for the 1924 season and hit over .300, but never felt like he was the same player.
He was never satisfied with his ability to hit after that. I think his final year he may have been hitting .313, but that wasn't good enough for him to continue. He didn't think that was worth playing for anymore.
Sisler played 4 more years with the Browns, and after the 1927 season, he was sold to the Washington Senators for $25,000. After an uneventful start to the 1928 campaign, Sisler was dealt to the Boston Braves, where he batted well over .300 his last 3 years in the majors.